Motivation seekers, welcome back to Stoic Journal. Have you ever wondered what happens when you finally stop looking for someone, and how that simple act can shift the entire dynamic of your relationship? You're in the right place. Because today we're diving into the powerful Stoic strategy of stepping back to let them realize what they've lost. This isn't about playing games, it's about embracing your own worth and letting that speak louder than words. As our wise friend once said, absence makes the heart grow fond. This means that sometimes it's in stepping back that our presence becomes truly valued. So folks, today we are not just talking about stepping back, we're talking about reclaiming your power with an intensity that leaves an unforgettable mark. Imagine the strength it takes to withdraw your attention and focus solely on your own growth, to rise above the noise and let your silence speak volumes. This isn't just about making them feel your absence. It's about transforming yourself into someone so resilient, so self-assured that they can't help but feel the void you've left behind. Each principle we dive into today is a stepping stone toward becoming someone who commands respect and admiration, someone who is deeply missed not because they disappeared, but because they've become more powerful in their absence. This is your moment to rise, to show them in yourself that your worth is beyond measure. But before we dive in, I've got to challenge that. We'll set the tone for what's about to unfold. If you're ready to step into your power and let your silence echo louder than any words, drop a comment below with the phrase, "Is my absence will speak for me." This isn't just a statement, it's a declaration of your strength, your resolve, and your commitment to becoming unforgettable. It's time to show the world and yourself that you're not just stepping back, you're stepping up in a way that will make them feel your absence like never before. Let's see how many of you are ready to embrace this powerful shift and make your presence undeniable even when you're not there. Ready, Stoic friends? Let's thought experiment go. So friends, before we dive into these 10 points, let's start with a thought experiment that will lay the foundation for what's to come. It is very important, so don't skip. Imagine you are the sun in someone's life. You provide the warmth that brightens their day and the energy that fuels their happiness. Now picture what happens when that sun suddenly disappears. The world becomes colder, a little dimmer. The once taken for granted warmth is now a distant memory, and the absence is felt more deeply with each passing day. What do you think happens next? Do they simply move on? Or do they start to realize the value of what they've lost? Now consider someone in your life who used to be a significant part of your daily routine, perhaps a friend, a partner, or a colleague. Think about how often you used to interact with them. The little messages, the quick phone calls, the casual encounters. Now imagine that all of a sudden those interactions stop, not because of a disagreement, but because you decided to step back and focus on yourself. How do you think they would feel? What would go through their mind as the days pass and the usual conversations don't happen? Would they miss you? Would they start to wonder where you've gone, why you've gone quiet? Now you might be wondering, if someone walks away and becomes absent, isn't there a chance that they will forget about me entirely? Won't my absence just push them further away? This is a common concern, but it's important to understand that this strategy isn't about disappearing completely. It's not about vanishing from their life to the point where they move on without a second thought. Instead, it's about creating a subtle yet powerful shift in the dynamics of your relationship. By stepping back, you're not removing yourself entirely. You recreating space for them to reflect, to realize, and to feel the impact of your absence. This isn't about being absent forever. It's about making your presence felt more strongly by stepping away, just enough to allow them to understand what life is like without you, and to think of it like a beautiful painting. Sometimes stepping back allows you to see the full picture and appreciate its true value. This is the core of our discussion today. We're not talking about playing hard to get, we're talking about the transformative power of creating space when you stop looking for someone. When you pull back your attention, something profound happens. The dynamics shift. The way they perceive you begins to change. And in that shift, they begin to feel the weight of your absence, perhaps more intensely than you could have ever imagined. Think about the last time you lost something valuable, maybe a favorite piece of jewelry or a cherished moment. To remember the pang of loss, the regret of not appreciating it more when it was in your possession. This is the same feeling that begins to creep into the minds of those who took your presence for granted. The difference is unlike that lost item. You have the power to choose when or if you re-enter their lives. So, before we jump into the 10 points that will break down exactly what they feel when you stop looking for them, take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Think about the times when someone's absence made you realize their true value. What emotions did you go through? What thoughts lingered in your mind? Hold on to those feelings, because they're the key to understanding what happens on the other side when you decide to take a step back. Now, let's unravel the 10 powerful emotions and realizations they experience when you stop looking for them. Number 1, the shock of silence. Shock of silence. So, folks, let's dive into the first thing that might hit them when you suddenly become absent. The shock of silence. Imagine this scenario. You've always been there, the reliable one, the person who texts first, who makes the plans, who checks in just to see how their day is going. But one day you decide to step back.